Approximately 6:04, we'll call the meeting to order. Can everyone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As customary, we will observe a moment of silence. I'd like to announce this meeting is being recorded and televised by local cable, WHCA. Seek a motion to approve bill and payroll warrants.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Seek a motion to accept correspondence in the read file.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Public forum. If anyone now would like to speak on anything that is not on the agenda, now would be the time. Seeing none, we'll move on. Next item of business, approval of meeting minutes for open session May 24th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Seek a motion for June 2nd, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? And finally, June 7th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, at this time, we're going to be going into executive session for a bit. We'll have 4 executive sessions this evening. The first starting at 6:05 p.m. It's executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21, subsection A1, to discuss the physical condition or mental health rather than the professional incompetence of a police department employee. At 6:10, we will begin another executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21, subsection A1, to discuss the physical condition or mental health rather than professional competence of a police department employee. At 6:15, we'll then enter into a third executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21, subsection A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation relative to a claim by the Whitman Police Union and a union member, as an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body, as declared by the chair. And actually, we have 5 tonight. Next executive session after that will be pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21, subsection A2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiation with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel, that would being the facilities manager. And finally, pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21, subsection A2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparations for negotiations with non-union personnel and or to conduct contract negotiations with non-union personnel, being the town administrator, relative to the contractual evaluation process. After those executive sessions are done, we will reconvene back in open session.
I'll make that motion.
We'll seek a motion to go into executive session.
Yes.
Second.
Voice vote?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
And I will vote yes. We'll be entering executive session and come back into open.
All set.
That's it.
Okay, back into open session. We have a couple scheduled public hearings. I just want to, for anybody out in the crowd right now, we will have to go back into executive session after we handle the public hearings for probably just a short time longer. But right now, we'll start the first public hearing. It's a public meeting in regards to the application of Rivers Custom Classics William R. Lavery for a Class 2 auto dealer's license on the premises located at 605 Bedford Street, Unit 9. Now, this will be subject to receipt of a surety bond as required by Mass General Law, Chapter 140, Section 58. The license and the final inspection, and obviously approval of the building inspector. So is Mr. Lavery, is it Lavery? Come on up, have a seat.
Evening.
And now is a little time to just speak on your business and what you're requesting.
I used car dealer license, a Class 2, maximum of 2 cars. They will be kept inside the building for sale. Been in the business 30 years. I previously owned Rivers Auto over in Abington. We just closed it. I'm downsizing. A one-man operation. I buy the cars, fix the cars, sell those cars all by myself. That way there's no blame to push off on anybody else.
Keep it small, keep it all, right?
That's it.
All right, so I will seek a motion to approve Mr. Lavere's Class 2 auto dealer's license pending all the conditions have been met.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
They're all set.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Sorry for the
Simple.
wait.
Good evening.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Okay, next scheduled hearing. It's a public hearing in regards to the petition of National Grid to relay approximately 475 feet of existing 2-inch plastic encoded steel main with 4-inch plastic main starting in front of 671 Auburn Street extending to 728 Auburn Street. Is there any, National, come on up.
Good evening. National Grid respectfully requests your consent to relay approximately 475 feet of existing 2-inch plastic and coated steel main with 4-inch plastic main starting in front of 671 Auburn Street to 728 Auburn Street. And it's following a sewer pipe job and to get in there before the streets
Closed.
redone.
Okay, and you definitely will be getting it done before they finish that project, right? So we wouldn't have to tear the road back up. It's,
Yes.
okay. Seek a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm abstaining, Lori,
Yep.
for the DPU. Shouldn't vote on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're all set. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, we will be going, need to go back into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
All right, a voice vote,
Yes.
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 and I will vote yes. This should be about 20 minutes, I would say. Good.
All set.
All right, we are back in open session. I'm sorry to keep everyone waiting. Update, COVID update, Chief Clancy.
Just a quick update, follow up on the email from earlier this week, I should say. The town currently has 27 positive cases. 530 tests performed for a positivity rate of 5.09%. If you track it like I do, it's up a percentage point from last week. But our testing numbers are down. Our actual number of cases dropped by 1, but our percentage point went up by 4%, just based upon the number of people that are being tested. So we're holding steady. Last week was 28, we're 27 this week, and we'll see where the rest of the summer continues on, see where we're at. And just a quick reminder, friendly reminder that no matter what brand of home test kit all the people in town have, all of it is extended 90 days on their expiration date.
Okay.
So from whatever they see on their test kits, they still have 90 days, and we'll be making arrangements to get some more if needed.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
All right. Chairman's update on the Whitman Middle School building project lease agreement. Last week, Lincoln and myself and Superintendent Simonak had a call with MSBA and their legal team. No definitive answer. What I can say right now is no definitive answer. Our concerns were noted as far as what we were looking for. I will say Superintendent Simonak came right out and said it, that all he is looking for as well is just a new 50-year lease. The lease that we've had has always worked, and he wasn't asking for any changes, nor was the town. We just want the same lease we've had. And in 2 weeks or so, we should have an answer from MSBA. So it was a productive call. I was glad that the town and the school district were on the same page. And hopefully MSBA hears our concerns and what has worked for us and lets that continue. New business. I would like to ask for a little leeway and take something out of order. We've had a gentleman sitting here now 2 hours, so I'd like to skip to take action to appoint Chris Diorio to the position of member of the Bylaw Study Committee for a term of 1 year through June 30th, 2023. Do I see it here, a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
I abstain.
All right, 4 yeses, 1 abstention, and thank you for
That's Chris.
the 2 hours. Sorry about that. All right, back to the agenda. The board will take action to rescind the appointment of Gary Young from the position of Assistant Gas Inspector and the position of Assistant Plumbing Inspector. Do I entertain a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, yes, so regarding the 6 items, the 6 appointments for our new building commissioner, Robert Picciarelli, I'd suggest that the board hold on member of the Capital Committee and the Outdoor Advertising Division. So these are all positions, all 6 of these, that would typically the building commissioner would be appointed to. The Capital Committee, he would be ineligible for under our current bylaws because it specifies that committee members are only residents other than the town administrator. So under our current bylaws, that's not that. And just in a conversation with Rob today, I think he and I both just want to have complete clarity on what the duties are for the outdoor advertising division. I think, our previous building commissioner was just, routinely appointed to that year to year, but I think his retirement has brought up that, hold up just a moment, what is this and what exactly does it entail? So I just ask that the board, if it approved the other 4, just take those 4 right now.
Okay, so I'd be seeking a motion to take action to appoint Robert Picciarelli, who is our new building inspector, to the following positions: American with Disabilities Act, ADA Coordinator through June 30th, 2023, Advisory Board Member, Bylaw Study Committee through June 30th, 2023, Fence Viewer through June 30th, 2023, and Zoning Enforcement Officer through June 30th, 2023.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so I will pass these down as soon as I... All right. Next item on the agenda, take action to appoint Sean Simmons to the position of Associate Member on the Historical Commission for a 3-year term through June 30th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous. All right, take action to renew the fortune teller's license for Stars Tarot Cards on the premises located at 418 Bedford Street.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Act on the request of Tina Moniz and Jen Fernandez to hold a block party on Saturday, August 28th, 2022, between the hours of 2 p.m. and 5 p.m., with Fox Hill Run being blocked off to traffic between Shelley Lane and Hunter's Path.
So moved. Question. Chief, you all set with that? I mean, you're having a block party? Actually, both of you. I mean, it's kind of it'll tie up for emergencies.
Yeah, exactly, as long as we can gain access. This is their first rodeo, if you will, coming to the board in the past. I don't have the issue.
I gotta give that to Carl.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda, senior tax work-off employee.
We didn't
I'm
vote.
not sure you did. Yeah. You need a vote on that?
Shelley Lane, oh, sorry about that. We have a motion and a second. We've had discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Next item will be the senior tax work-off employee policy.
Yes, so if the board recalls at town meeting changed its acceptance of the state law so that those over 60 years old who are accepted into the program may work to reduce their real estate taxes instead of a maximum dollar amount by a maximum number of hours each year, 125. We, the town, have not had a policy for the senior tax work-off program in the past. Just sort of some procedures that were laid out by the Council on Aging. It seemed like an opportune time to have a policy to bring clarity on a couple things that maybe we didn't have complete clarity on before. What this is for the most part, it's a policy I wrote, essentially the same policy in Hanover, and it's very similar, but adapted obviously to the Whitman experience. The three items that would be different from how we operate the program now is Part J on the midway down on the second page. So with the board's determination earlier this year that it would like all employees to make at least minimum wage. Technically, the senior tax work-off employees are employees. They're employees of a different kind. It's up to the board what the hourly rate would be. It doesn't have to be minimum wage, but this is for your consideration to possibly have it at minimum wage or not. Then Part D, there isn't currently a procedure. There is no cap, so Part D and E really go together on the second page there. Part E would make it so that there was a cap on the total number of senior tax work-off employees. There doesn't have to be a cap, but I think there's an expectation that there may well be, with the number of hours, 125, and presumably maybe an increase from the $8 an hour now that seniors earn for the senior tax work-off program, that there might be some increased interest, and there therefore might be, it might be an opportune time to think about some kind of cap. There are currently 32 slots, so just for reference, there are 32 participants now. This would make it so that there would be possibly a cap of 35. And then in concert with that, Part D, so if there were more applicants for the program than 35, if that's the level that there is a cap at, that how would a determination be made about who was in the program and who wasn't? And under this proposal, under this scenario, it would be those who are currently in the program would receive preference, and then there'd be a waiting list, first come, first serve, provided the folks on the waiting list are matched well with their skills and background with whatever position is open. So that's the proposed policy.
I have a couple questions.
All right, let's seek a motion to adopt the policy, and then we'll have
Okay,
discussion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Discussion.
Okay. All right, so what we need is if we went to, say, 125 hours, a max runoff of, say, $1,500 off your taxes, that would bring what price per hour at 125?
Do the math quickly. So right now,
11:15.
100, 12.
so that would be 12.
$12 an hour? Oh, I thought it was going to come up to like $12.50. $12 an hour.
$12 an hour.
And minimum wages?
$14.25 in this calendar year, $15 beginning January 1st.
And basically, what do they have taken out off their tax rate now at 100 hours? What would they?
$800, $8 an hour.
Right,
is
if we
what
double
is.
it, $1,500, well, almost doubling it, $1,500 off their taxes, for a maximum of 125 hours, minimum of 125 hours, and whatever the hourly rate comes, $1,500 off their taxes is a pretty good increase, from $850 to $1,500.
Failed to meet the town's minimum wage policy, though.
There is no, it doesn't have to meet the town minute, does it?
It does not have to. No.
I don't think it meets the intent that
Yeah.
we set when
Right.
we set that policy, though.
Right, exactly.
I personally, I see tremendous value in this program. It's helping out seniors in two ways, financially by way of taxes, but I mean, most of us have known these people from the time we voted the first time till the last election. I mean, these are dedicated seniors that also get a lot personally out of this program, so I have no problem going to minimum wage with this. I mean, majority of them do more beyond just the hours themselves. And I think it's just a great program, and the spirit of us adopting a minimum wage should carry, I personally think, carry through to it.
I guess operationally, who manages the list of departments seeking senior help and seniors looking to help?
Yep, so the Council on Aging. And there is specifically in Part A, provisions of the policy, some specific language about the Council on Aging annually seeking input from department heads each year to see, sort of proactively go out and see are there positions out there. But then those lists would be managed by the COA.
Sure.
I certainly would support it going to minimum wage. And there's a cap at how many total?
Under this proposal, 35.
I feel like
Minimum wage is what now?
I feel like it's a benefit that they should.
1425.
So I feel like it's a benefit that they should be entitled to, not something that they should jump into like a lottery and potentially get. So I would like to strike that personally. But I mean, if after 2 years we got a feel that we needed to, fund it to a high degree, then fund $4,000 more to make sure that the seniors have this benefit. I would support that for sure. Much more than saying somebody wants to do it and they can't do it.
Well, that'd be a cap of well under $1,800 off the tax rate.
So under what's in front of you now, it would be, just one moment.
So you're saying Section E, you would not want Section E limiting the amount of participants
Yeah.
in the program? And
That's the question is how much can the town take off the tax rate as far as getting revenues coming into the town? That's something like, what does the town need? I mean, you're taking, say you have 100 people that want to be on it. You're talking about over, it could be $100,000, $200,000, what I mean? I mean, can we lose that revenue and still give the services to the town? You
Right.
gotta think on that issue.
And are there 100 department?
Huh?
And are there 100 positions to fill?
Right.
Right, I mean, right now, you said there was 32, and you're putting this at 35?
Yeah, so just to answer your question, so the program runs on a fiscal year basis. So if it was to be, if someone was to work 125 hours in, say, fiscal year 2023, and based on the minimum wage, $14.25 now, beginning January 1st, $15, that would be a maximum of $1,827
Per person.
per person on the taxes. And what that would mean, and where the monies come from, is what's called the overlay account. So the overlay account funds abatements and exemptions if someone believes that their real estate is valued too highly. That account is raised on the tax rate, and it pays that out. And so this, for context, going from $8 an hour to $14.25, then $15 an hour on January 1st would be about $23,000 additionally to come out of the overlay.
And how does the overlay account accumulate funds?
It accumulates from on the tax rate. So the amount is set based on input from the assessors as to how much we believe the need would be for this program, for abatements, for exemptions. Typically in the past, we've kept that account at about $125,000. This would want to up it a little bit, and what that would mean is it would come out of the taxes and reduce the excess levy. So under town meeting, the last 2 years, the excess levy now goes to the Capital Stabilization Fund. So instead of going to the Capital Stabilization Fund, it would go to, the overlay would need to be higher in order to fund this.
I just think we should see where we're going with it before we go for the sky's the limit, that's all.
Right. My feelings on it, this program has, I think, been relatively stable of anywhere from 32 to 35. And it could always be if interest was out there or if the need was out there, it can be amended. But I would like to see monetarily what it does at the new rate with this number, personally.
The effect on the town, yes. Also, if somebody reaches 125 hours and then they say, okay, I've done my 125, someone could step into their shoes.
No.
Yeah, I mean, so the job's the job. No, so at a minimum, that's not how we've run the program.
I know, but I'm just saying,
there's any.
you don't have to do more than 125. You're
No.
required to do that. So if I wanted to do it and I did 125 hours, we'll say doing whatever, right? And I say, okay, I've done my 125. Thank you. I won't be doing any more hours. But they do a lot more than that. And then say Randy wants to get in and there's an open slot so he can start his process. Because 125 hours is,
Yeah, I mean, that's not how we've run the program, and I think it would be disruptive to run it in that way. That is to say, somebody is coming in a few hours a week and doing a particular job and training for somebody else, I think would be disruptive.
okay,
but yeah.
All right. So it would be a vote to set the rate. We voted to adopt the policy, so I guess adopt the policy adhering to the town's vote on,
I think as written.
So
as written.
yeah, I
right?
mean,
you have 1425 in here?
It says minimum wage in Part J, so it would track what it is for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Yeah.
All right, we've had a motion and a second. We'll go for the vote. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Old business, nope. Update on the HR grants position.
Yes. So this has been a challenge. Position's been out there. We have received, I would say, 3 serious candidates who are qualified. Interviews are set up with them. The invitations have gone out. I hope they'll respond in a positive way. It has certainly been a challenge to seek to get qualified applicants. It's been out on several different platforms. I think it's a function of the job market that a lot of people are familiar with right now, which is very hot.
All right, so we have 3 candidates that you're scheduling interviews for. I would only add that I think as we get into a new year to get this position filled, if these candidates should not work out, I don't know if we want to look at, is there a way we can restructure this with people we have? I think we need to move on getting this position filled. If these candidates should not work out and we're not getting qualified applicants. I certainly don't want to just take anyone and put somebody in there to have a body is it then, are we going to look at who else we have on our staff that we could try to develop positions or something along that line? So I think if this doesn't work, I'd like to see personally these three candidates.
I'm sitting in on those.
I think we need to hopefully be able to move on this sooner than later.
Now, that's 3 people out of how many total candidates?
Total applicants were 5.
How many?
5.
5?
That's correct.
And this was posted 3 months ago?
It's been out there on several platforms, yes.
See what we come up with.
Well, I guess you've chosen 3 people to look at. I guess we got to look at them. And but I think I have some of the same misgivings that Randy has. We need to do something. We basically have a 2-person office now, and that's just not work.
Right.
It's not working. So if we have to start at ground zero and maybe have a couple of people from the Selectmen volunteer to brainstorm, are there possibilities? Randy says maybe moving some people around or whatever. I think we have to seriously consider that. I don't feel really comfortable having only 5 candidates, and out of those 5, 3 of them are okay, but that's still only 3 possibilities. So I'm a little nervous about that, and I think it's something that we need to move with some speed to get this done, to get some help in here. That's my take.
Anybody else?
We had a richer pool when this, I guess, 3rd position in the Selectmen's office was titled Assistant Town Administrator. I think if things fall apart this time, it may be worth revisiting what we want to call this person, and maybe treat it as in the past, we've had it as sort of a stepping stone training position for someone who wants to be a town administrator. I think that may be a bigger pool.
Yeah, if we have an assistant town administrator, I'm certainly sure that person could take over the responsibilities of grants and an HR person, and a little bit more.
That is getting a little ahead of ourselves.
Yeah,
The board decided
basically
we wanted
that's
to
what we
pursue
did.
a HR. Yeah.
In the past, that's what we did. Because Lisa did all the grants, but she didn't do Frank did the HR part, but,
Well, I just think, I personally would like to see us, if these 3 applicants don't work out, I don't see us putting it back out for another 3 months. I think we, at that point, set up a little subgroup of a group of us and see what resources, what other talent we may have already working for us, and try to restructure that way. I think it would be, if we're at that point talking about hiring, if we could get these positions filled, I think it would be easier to hire some type of admin if we can get the heavy lifting of the grants and the HR done for the day-to-day paperwork. But we have to move on it. All right. Set August meeting schedule. Do we all agree the 15th, August 15th?
15th or 16th?
16th.
16th, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong one. August 16th, does that work?
August 15th is the Feast of the Assumption.
That's a Monday. 16th is a Tuesday.
And St. Patrick's Day. On the wrong month. Okay, so August 16th.
Okay.
All right, that is done. Under old business, marijuana establishment host community agreement.
Can we waive the reading of the agreement?
So pursuant to the last conversation we had about this at the last meeting where this was discussed, Justin, Selectman Evans, myself, Town Council Peter Sumners, and Town Manager of Abington, Scott Lambiase, who we all know well, met, looked at some versions of host community agreements that other communities have had. What you have in your packet is a compendium of the best parts of those, including some from many different municipalities, including Hanover, Abington, some other municipalities. So if this looks good to the board, I'd want to have your approval to go out and, with Peter's assistance, negotiate with the entities that have presented formal proposals that they are seeking retail facilities in Whitman.
I'd move to accept the agreement as written. The host community agreement as written.
Okay, I'll second it.
Discussion? Done? All right, seeing none, the only thing I would add is, along with Peter, I'd really like to keep Justin in the fold, and if another selectman wanted to take part in that.
Sure.
All right. That works, so it'll be Mr. Kane and Mr. Evans will kind of take point on that, so we can keep that going, and great work, and
No samples, by the way.
yes. All right, all in favor of adopting the agreement as written?
Aye.
Excellent. All right, and that exhausts all business. Town administrator's report.
Yes, so on the DPW building, the project is moving forward. As the board knows, and I think most members of the public know, the request for proposals for owners, project managers was out on the street. We received 5 responses back for potential owners, project managers, which I think is positive in this market, in the hot market that we're in. The DPW Building Committee will be meeting again tomorrow to figure out the process for how we're going to review those, and hopefully moving forward expeditiously to an agreement with an owner's project manager, so then we can move forward and get a designer.
Excellent. Next item, Council on Aging Trust donation.
Yeah, so this is great news, I think. The Council on Aging Director, Mary Holland, and myself have been speaking with an anonymous donor who is seeking to set up a trust, the Phyllis Dolan Memorial Trust, to supplement programming at the senior center. It's a very generous donation of $150,000, which is great news. It will help, I think, immeasurably in having increased programming at the senior center, and also allowing more members of the senior population to participate in programs who may not be able to afford a fee now. So I think it's excellent news. Again, it is an anonymous donation, but it's very generous, and I wanted to make sure that everyone knew how appreciated it is. So.
All right, I do have a couple questions on this. Do we have a copy of the
So the
trust? Do we?
yes. So the trust document the trust document needs still to be reviewed by town council. So I wanted to announce the gift, but it is not. The trust is not officially set up yet because town council needs to make sure that legally they're fine with it.
All right. And have we taken delivery of the gift?
We have. The donor was very insistent that they wanted to give the monies right away prior to the review from town council. I think any legal issues, if they exist, will be able to be worked out. But that's the current situation.
Okay. All right. Is that it?
That's it. Thank you.
All right. That has exhausted this evening's business. I'm sorry for the broken up meeting for anybody who might have been trying to.
I'm sorry. I apologize. The one item that was very late breaking news, which is very unfortunate news, but it's important for folks to know, is that our excellent treasurer collector, Mary Beth Carter, in the last day is moving on to another position in another town. I think anyone who's interacted with Mary Beth knows what a huge asset she is to the town and what a huge loss it is to the town. So we need to move forward. The board has an appointment to make for at least an interim treasurer collector. But thankfully, Mary Beth is with us until August 26th and has agreed to be a big part of the transition that happens.
It is a big loss for this town, and I hope she gets sentimental and reconsiders.
That's for sure. Me too.
That being said, again, sorry for the broken up meeting, folks, for anyone who tried to follow it at home. I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
We're gone.
Thank you.